Hello, welcome to the first day of the Supercharge Your Sustainability Skills Challenge. It's day one today. We're going to talk about communication. Let me just share underneath. If you haven't joined the challenge, you can go to this website here and you will find the link here. Well, actually, this is the link to the challenge. So first of all, I'm Virginia Cinquemani. I am the director and founder of Green Gorilla Consultants Ltd, which is a training and coaching company focused on sustainability professionals and empowering them to make sustainability easy and understandable and to progress sustainability in the world. And we do that via coaching, via training, via programs, which we're going to talk about in these days as well. But today we're going to start the challenge, so the Supercharge Your Sustainability Skills Challenge. If you have any comments, if you have any questions, please pop them in the chat and I will try and answer them as I go along. But this is meant to be a very quick introduction to today's theme, which is communication. And then you have your challenge on the worksheet on the website. So as I said, if you haven't signed up yet, you've got worksheets to work through. It's quite a nice thing that's going to take you no more than 10-15 minutes a day, but hopefully will make the penny drop in your head in terms of what you need to focus on in order to become a very impactful sustainability professional. So say hello if you are here online. I would love to know who is joining me today, but also if you have any questions. So let's talk about communication. Now, communication is not just about speaking, that's one-way street, but communication is a two-way street. So communication is speaking and listening, but also body language. Now, we're going to focus on the challenge just on listening and speaking. The other programs of Green Gorilla got into a lot more details about this. And obviously we're not, like we said in the introduction last week, we're not trying to learn a skill a day here, but really trying to plant a seed. So the next time you have maybe even a difficult communication, or you have to do a presentation, or you have to speak to a client, you will pay more attention to certain elements. The problem is, so communication for me is one of the key skills to hone if you want to be successful in sustainability, because we don't generally communicate well. We're distracted, we're insecure, and the reason why we overcome other people when they speak and we cover their voices and we interrupt is because we are insecure, because we don't want to forget what we have in our mind, or perhaps we don't we're not entirely sure about ourselves, we're not confident as such. So we listen to reply, not to understand, and that's a major issue. But if we want sustainability to become a no-brainer for everybody, we need to learn how to listen to others and how to communicate that message correctly. So the purpose of the challenge today is to focus your attention on the way communication happens, so the next time you'll do it better. We will also talk about using communication to influence others on Wednesday when we talk about selling sustainability to others. Hello, Michael. Welcome. Welcome. So starting with listening, why is it important? It's important to listen properly or actively, as we speak in coaching language, because we increase the trust in other people. When we listen, and it must have happened to you before, not to be listened to, and how you were disappointed in the other person, how you felt disrespected. So if you just swap that role and you think about when you listen actively to somebody, when you listen with your full attention to somebody, you are making yourself more trustworthy. Also, when you talk, you're repeating what you already know. But when you listen, you might learn something new. And that's something that I haven't invented. It's the Dalai Lama that says that. But it's brilliant, isn't it? When we listen, we might learn something new. If we just talk, we don't learn anything new. In fact, listening attentively gives you an advantage. You actually absorb more information. You actually learn more about the person you got in front of you and the challenges that maybe the project is presenting. If you just focus on what's in your head and not on the person in front of you, then you might miss the signals there. It also helps you develop patience in a fast-paced world. And gosh, do we need it? How, it's a rare skill these days. But if you think about it, we're so distracted and so stimulated that we don't properly focus and stop and listen and, just be in silence. You also, when you listen, you become more approachable. Again, people trust the people that listen. And even communicate more competence and more credibility when you listen to others. Also, in the conversation, you might get less misunderstandings because, again, you've been listening, you can ask the right questions. We're going to go into that in a second. Therefore, you might have less misunderstandings at the end and spot any issues and any risks in the conversation, in the project that you're dealing with. Now, a couple of tips. When you listen attentively, it means also not just being silent, but listen really attentively and without pre-formulating these things in your head, ask open questions. So when you're listening, 100% you're listening, and then ask open questions to understand more, like why, who, what, when, and all the questions that allows the other person to expand on what they're saying. And limit distractions as much as possible. I know how this can be a problem, so especially mobile phones, just put them away while you are listening to others. Speaking. Now, I had this experience of speaking to children a couple of years ago to schools, talking about sustainability, and gosh, it was the most daunting experience of my life. Speaking to children is more difficult than speaking to adults in many ways. Why? Because they don't share my same language. They don't have my same experience in sustainability. They don't understand my jargon. And unfortunately, when we speak to clients or even to people, our same age, we make that mistake. We assume they know as much as we do, but probably they don't. So the first thing to do when you speak to others is to tune in to the person you have in front of you, engage whether they get what you're saying. It's a bit of a fine balance between that and being patronizing, but generally speaking, the simpler you're talking, so the simpler language you're using, the least jargon you're using, the better your communication and the better the understanding of the other person. Hello, Marco. Ciao. You're not a wizard. That's the thing. You're not protecting your magic spells or a precious treasure or whatever. Your role is not to protect your knowledge. It's actually to share it with others. It's to make sustainability accessible to others, reassuring your clients that you are in control and things will be fine. But in order to do that, you need to clean up your language. You need to especially focus on the jargon you might be using, the acronyms, longer technical words like biophilia, interoperability, biomimicry, whatever. Acronyms, CSR, ESG, EMS, whatever it is, just eliminate them, or if you have to use them, explain them, use plain English or plain language, or whatever language is that you're speaking. And ask yourself, would the people in your life understand, like your mother, your sister, your cousin, your partner, would they understand what you are saying? If not, then reconsider the language you're using. Also, expressions like value proposition, carbon footprint, circular economy, they are, our bread and butter every day, but not for our clients. So be prepared to explain those if you can't use alternative words. So let's go into the challenge today. The challenge today is on your worksheet. Now I'm going to share where that is. So if you sign up to the challenge here in the website that you can see below, you will see something like this. So we are on day 1. You have, so let me just, I'm going to upload this very video here, so you don't need to, if you listen it now, you don't need to listen to you again, otherwise you will find it there. And then you will have a worksheet here, which is on Google Docs. So you will need to save it in your own drive or download it. And here you will have 5 principles of good communication, just reminding you what I've been just talking about right now. And today's challenge, which I really love, people generally love really a lot, is choose a technical subject that you work with often, whether that is circular economy, carbon calculation, embodied energy, whatever that is, and put yourself in the frame of mind of explaining it to a 5-year-old. So that's your challenge. How do you explain a subject that you're very familiar with, that you use without thinking anymore, or even sustainable development or whatever that is, to a 5-year-old? Pay particular attention to the things we just discussed, so jargon, acronyms, expressions, anything like that. And explain to a 5-year-old and see how that works out for you. If you have time, we have an extra challenge, and which is try listening to understand today, not to reply, and then write down, how does it feel? How is it to just listen to understand and not to reply? Okay, and then here a little reminder that we're starting a new Sustainable Mastermind on the 7th of September, which is a group, a peer group of sustainability professionals just like you, going through the same challenges and wanting to really deep dive into these skills: the communication, the selling, the resilience, the project management. We work together for 4 months. You have access to private coaching with me, to group coaching. Is amazing. Lots, the people that've done it before loved it. So if you want to join, the link is here on the worksheet. And so that's it for me. I said, I was going to keep it quite simple and quick today. Today we're going to focus on communication. Do let me know if you have any questions. You can pop perhaps a comment on this video, and I'm going to look at it later on today. You can, is much better, I think, so that other people can see it. And we have a nice discussion around communication today. So thank you so much for those that joined live. Michael, Marco, I can see you guys, and I'm sure there'll be more as well on YouTube as well. And thank you very much. And I will speak tomorrow, same time, 12 noon BST, to talk about resilience. So another big subject for us. Hello, Ioannis, I can see you there. And yeah, do let me know how the challenge goes today. If you have any questions, get in touch. And I will see you tomorrow. Cheers. Bye.